What is up, guys? Beancrew49 here. We are back on the Desolation map. And oh man, I got my fly wings on. I'm having a lot of fun with the new Elichas. I don't have one in survival mode yet. We're waiting for IGL Zenix and the country of Zenlin to get on their horse about that. But I got one in creative mode. I got one in the city of Coveton. It allowed me to fly around. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it. I really like it. But, you know, the new update's here, but we gotta focus on what we gotta focus on, guys. We can't get distracted. We gotta work on some building. And as much as I would like to work on Chinatown, today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna start on a brand new project. I like to call this project IHOP. Project IHOP is in full effect, guys. I've been kind of secretive about what I want to do with this space here because, I don't know, I feel like, I wanted it to be a surprise, and the surprise is finally been lifted. This is going to be an international house of pancakes. A place for the party goers to come at 4 in the morning and really try to sober up with some pancake. I don't know, eggs and milk and whatever they put in pancakes, blueberries, I don't know, whatever. I haven't been to an IHOP in quite some time. It's not a vegan friendly location. Alright, so I'm going to be building an IHOP. I'm going to be doing it in super fast motion because today is Monday, and you guys know all about Mondays. Mondays is Creative Question of the Week time, the part of the series where I answer questions that you submit in the comment section. Be sure to leave a creative question of the week for me in the section below because this is your chance to be a part of this channel. Ask a question, get an answer. It's a mutually beneficial thing. Okay, so put your comments in the comment section below. Ask me a CQotW, and I will peruse those, and I answer it the next week. I try to answer a question that was asked in the previous week, and you know, I try to do that every time because it keeps things fresh, keeps things current. Alright, today's creative question of the week comes from Arit Chef, who's asked a lot of questions before, and I thank him for all his participation. Arit Chef asks, what do you think of Rogue One? Oh, it's a new Star Wars movie. I have seen it, and I'm going to share my opinions on it today. Now, if you have not seen Rogue One, I hate to say this, but please turn off this video. I'm going to be spoiling the heck out of this movie, okay? So I understand if you can't watch this video, maybe come back to it when you have seen Rogue One, because I'm going to be spoiling everything, right? So, spoiler wall, warning, 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 spoilers. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but spoilers are coming. Alright, Rogue One is a new movie that's set in the Star Wars universe. It doesn't have any of the old characters. Well, it does at the end, but it doesn't have... It's not the traditional Star Wars. This tells the story of the rebellion before the Death Star was final, before they finished the Death Star. Basically, before Episode 4 occurred, Episode 4 opens with Princess Leia smuggling a message to a droid, and the message is plans for the Death Star. And this movie tells the story of how those plans came to get into Princess Leia's possession. It's pretty cool premise. I really like the premise. I really like that they're telling this story. Let me share with you the things I liked about this movie. Because the list of what I liked is a lot shorter than what I didn't like. Oh, big surprise, Bean didn't like it. Okay, but I'm gonna hear me out, guys. Hear me out. What I did like was that it told a Star Wars story from a different perspective. You know, we got to see more about the Rebels' interactions, I guess. You know, we don't... In the 6 movies, we sort of see the rebellion rising up, but we don't really get an inside glimpse into the inner workings. We don't get to see the different factions that were participating in this rebellion or why they wanted to rebel. And this movie gives us another glimpse of it. Like Forrest Whitaker's character is someone who is a rebel, but is like way more extreme than the others. So he's kind of outcasted from the other rebels. I thought that was a really cool thing to show in the movie, thing to portray. It also portrayed... you know, they portrayed the rebels not in the greatest light either, you know. In so many of the previous Star Wars films, it's good versus evil, black versus white. But in this movie, there's definitely shades of gray. You see some evil in the good guys, and you see some good in the evil guys. Most notably with the father in the story, the head engineer, who basically sacrificed his life so he could put this one little... like a little what's a kill switch on the Death Star. So basically, he gave up his life. He created a machine that would kill billions of people just so that he could, because he was the only person who could destroy it, basically. So it's really cool enigma, a really cool conundrum there, like with the father and with the head guy. I forget his name. I'm sorry. Diego Luna is the actor's name. The Spanish guy. I don't know. I think he's Mexican, but. He was that character was kind of flawed. He was an assassin who killed people, but he did it for the good guys, air quotes. So I thought that was really cool, showing the differences between them. The CGI, probably the best I've ever seen in my life, especially with God, I can't remember anyone's name in the movie. I'm sorry. But Cushing, I think Peter Cushing, his character, he died. And so they replaced him with CGI, and I thought it was so good. The only reason I could tell that it was CGI is because I played a lot of video games, and there was just something not right about his movement, something that wasn't quite human, something that you notice in video game cutscenes, right? They move kind of like machines, and he had a little hint to that. It was the only reason I knew that wasn't a real person. But other than the way his mouth moved and his jaw moved and his eyes moved, it was all very too fluid, like a robot. Other than that, you couldn't tell that wasn't a person. It was insane CGI. And then Princess Leia at the end, I don't even know how they got that, because Princess Leia does not look like that. What's her name now? Does not look like that at all. So those two effects were really good. And of course, the CGI of the TIE fighters and all the AT-ATs and the chicken walkers, they're all really good special effects. So that's what I really liked about it. Here's what I didn't like. Where to begin? My main concern with this movie, my main issue, is it is the same thing again. I just talked about how it was different, but no. At the core, it was the same thing that's happened in every single Star Wars movie. There's a group of people who have a dislike for each other. They're not friends. They have differences of opinion, but they gotta go into Empire territory and perform some impossibly the odds are totally stacked against them. They gotta go into the Empire's territory and pull off some magnificent feats that no one thinks is possible. And in the process of it, they bond together, they learn to love each other, and then cues credits. That's Star Wars. Every single movie is like that. And the problem I had with this movie is, on the surface it was something new, something different, but deep down the core of this movie was terribly predictable. I knew exactly what was going to happen from the jump, because it's the Star Wars formula again. If you're going to reboot a series, you better come with some creativity. There's no creativity in this. It's the same shenanigans over and over and over again. And they're just pandering to the audiences. The audience as a whole, especially in the movie theater I was in, oh my goodness, they just wanted to see good old-fashioned Star Wars, and that's, come on, there's 6 of those movies. This is finally a departure from the Star Wars franchise a little bit, and they gave us the same exact storyline recycled over and over. So I was really upset with how predictable the movie was, how kind of boring. You know what's going to happen to the characters, right? Sacrifice after sacrifice, and then it's just terrible. And so I didn't like that aspect of it. Didn't like the writing. The casting was kind of okay. We're in a galaxy far, far away, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, and then we got a guy from Spain, right? His casting was kind of weird. He's got this Spanish accent. There's no Spain, okay? Tell me what planet Spain is on in the Star Wars universe. I don't know. So his casting was kind of weird. I didn't like it. I don't even know what his accent was. Maybe Mexican, whatever. There's no Mexico on Alderaan, right? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really fit into the Star Wars universe, that casting. But some of the other casting was really good, like Donnie Yen as the I don't know what you would call him, the kung fu. Like, they put a kung fu guy in Star Wars. It was kind of weird. So I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm somewhere on the fence with Donnie Yen's character. First of all, I didn't even know he spoke English. He's Ip Man. If you don't know who Ip Man is, he's Donnie Yen. And he's a huge kung fu star in China. So I saw him in this movie. I was like, what? It's Donnie Yen. And he speaks English. And he does kung fu still. So it was kind of weird. I don't know. But it's just Star Wars, guys. Here's another main gripe. Okay, so you're gonna go into impossibly odd situations. You're gonna go into the heart of the enemy's territory. You're going to take a handful of dudes, and you're going to face about 300 stormtroopers. Now, in order for this story to work, you have to make it so the stormtroopers are all blind. Okay? When was the last time you saw a stormtrooper hit something with his plasma rifle? Never! It's such bad writing. The only way that they can put these characters into impossible situations and have them succeed is to have the stormtroopers basically blind, deaf, dumb, and blind. And it just doesn't feel realistic. You know, one person holding off a battalion of stormtroopers, it's played out. We're done with that. I mean, that was cool in the 70s, but after 7 movies, I'd like to see a stormtrooper who could hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, seriously. Or maybe, if you're going to make stormtroopers so bad, maybe like have better writing so that the entire plot of the story isn't hinged upon the fact that a stormtrooper can't fire his rifle. I mean, never mind the fact that they get training and their whole life is dedicated to being a fighter, a warrior, but they can't shoot anything. It doesn't make any sense, okay? It doesn't make any sense at all. The only sense it makes is to make the story, writing of the story, like a band-aid, right? We're going to put these characters in the situations they can't get out of, and the only way that's going to make it be possible is because the stormtroopers are basically not even there. Right? It's so bad. And then don't even talk to me about the fact that every time one of your beloved characters is in a situation that he just can't get out of, he's on the verge, or she is on the verge of death, and all of a sudden, pew pew, out of nowhere, someone comes in and saves him at the last second. That happens like 3 times in the movie. Oh my god, how stupid do they think we are? Can't you find a better writer? There's 7 billion people in this world. These are the writers you find for this movie, this multi-billion-dollar movie that you poured millions of dollars in. You bought the franchise of Star Wars for how many billions, I forget now, and you can't hire a decent writer. Come on, give me a break. I know these stories have been written down before. I'm not really sure about the Star Wars canon but you can punch it up, guys. You don't have to... You know, the walkway at the end, she's about to get killed by the main dude, and then the other dude comes in and saves the last second, or the guy with the big, never mind, I don't even want to think about it. It's just terrible writing, horrible writing, and it really got to me, really upset me. The music wasn't that great. They didn't use really any of the iconic Star Wars music, which, you know, I guess was good, but it wasn't up to par. It wasn't as good. You know, if you're going to depart from the regular Star Wars music, then you should come better. But they didn't come better. It was kind of muted, the music, so I didn't find it that great. The what do you call it? The score, the musical score wasn't that great. But here's my biggest gripe. I saved the biggest gripe for the end. This is me personally. I don't care about the humans in the Star Wars universe. The humans, or let's put it this way, the non-Jedi in the Star Wars universe, I couldn't care less about, okay? They're just there to tell the story of the Jedi, is in my opinion. I care about the Jedi. I want to know and learn about the Jedi. I want to know and learn about the Force and how it affects this universe. But the humans, they're not, I mean, Donnie Yen, the ninja guy, the kung fu guy, was sort of in touch with the Force, sort of, and he didn't need to be a Jedi to be in touch with the Force. I thought that was kind of cool, but it was just a token throw-in thing. I want to see lightsaber duels. I want to see acrobatics. I want to see people manipulating the energy of the universe for either good or evil, and there was none of that in this movie. I don't care about these stupid, flawed humans. I just don't. I'm sorry. I think they're humans, they're flawed, and I guess you can look at the flaws and be interested, but if we're going to tell a Star Wars story, there's going to be lasers involved. I need to see some Jedi, and that's my biggest gripe with this movie. No Jedi. Of course, Darth Vader was in it, and there was one little lightsaber thing that was really quick, but I don't know. I'm in Star Wars for the Jedi, guys. What can I say? So that's what I was kind of hoping for. You know, tell the story of... Well, what I really want to see from Star Wars in the future is maybe going back into history. Like, how did the Jedi rise to power? What was their influence on society? How they fell? I mean, we got sort of that with Anakin. He killed all the Jedi. But maybe, you know, how did Yoda become a master? That's what I want to know. So if you guys are listening, Star Wars creators, that's what I want to see. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about Rogue One. I mean, to sum it up, give me something new. This was the same old thing, just pandering to the audience who just, all they want to do is pay the money to have 2 hours of something familiar. And I think that's really hurting creativity. It's hurting story. It's just basically charging people to have the experience of the first Star Warses again. That's what they're doing. They're charging you to get the feeling of A New Hope again. And that's not what I'm about. I want to see movement, forward progress. I want to see creativity. I want to see artistic abilities shining, and not this same old formula stuff again. Oh, man. So I was kind of disappointed with Rogue One. I mean, it's worth watching, just not in the theater. I don't think you need to see that movie in the theater. You don't need to pay $15 or whatever it is to go see the movie, okay? Anyway, so yeah, take it what you will. That's just my opinion. You're free to argue. Put it in the comment section if you have a different opinion or if you agree, whatever. Let's talk about Rogue One. If you've seen it, that is the IHOP, my friends. I mean, a long way to go. I got 2 sides of it, but that's an IHOP beginning. All right? So, we're going to work more on the IHOP, probably off camera. No, definitely off camera. I'm going to work on the IHOP. The next time you see it, it's probably going to be done exterior-wise. Probably. Okay, I work fast when I get new builds going. So, yeah, that's the IHOP looking good. All right, guys, thank you for watching this. Be sure to leave a creative question of the week in the comment section below. Give me fuel for this fire. It could be about anything. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. I'm going to say leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Happy Minecrafting. Peace.